Welcome back. Jim Jordan joins us, Republican congressman from Ohio. One of my heroes from that phony impeachment. You did such a great job, sir. Welcome back to Newsmax. First of all, I got the numbers here for all of Ohio, but first off, how is your district doing with COVID-19?
No, we're doing fine. You know, West Central Ohio, North Central Ohio is not Manhattan, where New York City's been so hit so hard in that whole area. We've had a tough situation in one of the prisons in our district. We've had a pretty big number of cases there, but overall we're doing fine. The good news is we're getting back to work. I wish we were doing it at a faster pace, but we are beginning to open up our economy. Retail outlets open up in a week, so or in a few days actually, on the 12th. So we're moving in the right direction. Yeah,
let's see here. Elective surgeries have started. I think you have construction. That started the day before yesterday. This is consumer businesses. That'll be big on the 12th. Could you possibly go faster? Is this too slow? How do you feel? Because I will point out that hair salons, not until the end of the month. It's interesting. Every state does this differently. You know, Georgia, they've already opened the hair salons.
Yeah, I wish we were moving at a faster pace, frankly, but look, this virus is serious, but we got to treat it that way. But we also got to respect the fact that, we got fundamental liberties that are a concern here. We got people's livelihoods. So let's get back to work as quick as it can. Frankly, the entity that should be back to work is the United States Congress. I mean, the Senate's back working, but Nancy Pelosi won't have the House come back. I testified 2 weeks ago in a hearing. We can go back. We can do our work. We can be focusing on the issues that are important to the American people. I said the other day that, farmers are planting crops, truckers are moving goods, grocers are stocking shelves, and frontline healthcare workers haven't missed a day in the last 7 weeks. So why in the world can't the U.S. Congress get back to work? So I hope that happens real soon.
Yeah, that was really bizarre. And I hear that Democrats and Republicans, some of them, didn't want to go back. We're not ready. We're scared.
Well, I mean, Greg, task force are meeting in the White House. Task force are meeting in the 50 respective states. But the task force that's supposed to meet and deal with big issues that confront our nation is the United States Congress. So let's get back in session. I told a reporter the other day, you think about the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee, the two committees I'm on. What should we be focused on? The Judiciary Committee should be looking at the threats to liberty. And thank goodness for Bill Barr's memo last week, where he said the Constitution is not suspended during times of crisis. Amen to that. So we should be looking at things that have happened around the country that are real threats to people's religious liberty rights, their right to assemble, those kind of things. And the Oversight Committee, well, why wouldn't we be having hearings on the World Health Organization? This organization that took our tax dollars, took the American people's tax dollars, and then lied to us, ran interference for the Communist Party of China. I mean, I got a colleague who says it best. He says, we don't have to pay organizations to lie to us. They'll probably do it for free. So why aren't we having hearings on that entity as well, the WHO, and how they helped China in this lie that they propagated on us and the world about this terrible virus?
Hey, right on. And let's face it, this public service entails sacrifice at times. And if going back right now is a sacrifice, is an elevated risk, I mean, so be it. That kind of comes with the job. I'm glad you want to go back. I hope Nancy Pelosi gets on board at some point. Hey, I want to ask you about Christopher Wray, the FBI director, keeping a very low profile, by the way. But this is President Trump's pick for the FBI. But you've got big frustrations.
Well, yeah, I mean, what we learned about what the FBI, the Comey FBI did to Michael Flynn is so wrong, so terrible. It should never happen. We said this as well. If they can do this to a three-star general, if they can do this to a president of the United States, imagine what they can do to you and I. But what I want to know is, why did we have to wait and learn this from Bill Barr, the efforts of Bill Barr and General Flynn's lawyer, Sidney Powell? Why didn't we learn this from Christopher Wray? So we sent him a letter and said, look, we want to know when you learned about this information relating to Michael Flynn's case, and why you didn't tell it to us, the investigators in Congress. And more importantly, we want to talk to some of the key individuals, specifically the agent who interviewed Michael Flynn when Jim Comey sent Peter Strzok and this other agent to the White House, didn't follow the proper protocols and standards, didn't notify the White House counsel. We want to talk to that agent, and we want to see the original, what's called the 302, the original notes taken, not the one that Peter Strzok altered and changed. We want to see the original. So that's what we put in our letter to Christopher Wray.
Well, remember, and I know you know this, but the official who advocated for not going through the White House counsel's office was the director himself, Comey. I mean, I'm sure this agent is responsible, but
Right.
Comey was the one, and he's publicly bragged about how, hey, I actually blew off all kinds of protocol. I blew off all the procedure. We just did it. I mean, that was an admission of wrongdoing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it fits in this whole, we got to remember the context. In the summer of 2016, they opened up an investigation into President Trump's campaign. They spy on 2 American citizens associated with the campaign. To spy on one of those individuals, they took the now famous dossier to the FISA court, the dossier that they knew was salacious and unverified, that they knew was paid for by the Clinton campaign, that they knew the author who wrote it, Christopher Steele, had already told them, Christopher Steele told the Justice Department that he was desperate to stop Trump from getting elected. They use all that to go spy on the campaign, and then when it's the first few days of this administration, they go to the White House and set up General Flynn. That's part of this pattern here. And what we want to know is, when did Christopher Wray learn about all this, that the activities of Jim Comey's FBI, and why hasn't he told us?
You know, when you start talking like that, I feel like it's the impeachment all over again, and you've got this brilliant mastery of the facts, and your questions are so great.
I don't know
again,
about that.
No, you did such a fantastic job for the president, and Congressman Jordan, we appreciate it. Good luck. I know COVID. Let's see, we got 20,000 plus cases in Ohio, 1,100 deaths, 4,000 hospitalizations. But you're right, this is not Manhattan. We got a much different situation, so the solution and the guidelines going forward have to be different.
Yeah, and we've reached our peak, and we're moving in the right direction. So let's get this. The best phase 4. Nancy Pelosi talking about another bill. The best phase 4 is to get the economy open, let people get back to work.
Love it. Thank you very much, Congressman. Good luck.
You bet. Thanks, Greg.
Okay.